Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have another showcase for you today in the Open Master League, taking a look at a double mythical team with Zarude and Meloetta and then Excadrill in the lead. This trainer wanted me to give a shout out to their team, Team Orvispear, so shout out to you, and thank you so much for sharing these battles with us. So double mythicals now, level 50 as well. In order to get a level 50 Mythical, it's actually very difficult, like when it comes to Zarude and Meloetta, because you can't grind. It's not like you could raid for these, right? You can't grind XL candies, so in order to get them, you really have to use your own XL rare candies on them. And which is certainly possible, right? I mean, I have at this point over 100, which is not enough, but like there's people who raid a lot more than I do, who have hundreds and hundreds. I know people who have hundreds of rare candy XLs, so not impossible, just very difficult. And taking a look at this, I mean, look at that. That's a 98% Zarude. That's really crazy. Unfortunately, 14 attack, but still. And then we have a Meloetta, which pretty good stats. I know my mythicals, my Zarude and my Meloetta are not bad. My Zarude is 14 across the board. But either way, let's go ahead and dive right into these battles. Hopefully they bring these mythicals back, whether it be in elite raids or just regular traditional raids, so we can grind rare candy XLs. Okay, it looks like Meloetta is in the lead. I thought it was Excadrill in the lead, that's why I put it on the overlay, but that's okay. Meloetta is a really good Pokemon. It actually really is. You know, I've lost to Meloetta in the Master League Classic. I know I battled for the battles a few seasons ago, and I had won the lead, and then she safe swapped into Meloetta, and I had no response to it, so I ended up losing that game. Not a great response, at least. But Meloetta is really tanky. It's really good. It really is, like, no joke, it actually is a really good Pokemon. I feel like a lot of trainers are probably not prepared for it or not expecting it. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, all in all, just a really, really strong Pokemon to use. But either way, this Meloetta is actually going to go down, but it did get 2 shields from the Ho-Oh, so the Excadrill is coming in. Ooh, this team does not like fire types, I guess, the Excadrill and the Zarude don't. But Excadrill, I guess, to be fair, does have the Rock Slide. I'm going to go ahead and just throw it right now. Kind of bad timing there, but that is okay, because this is going to be enough to KO. Groudon coming in, not good. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Drill Run. We might see a Drill Run and switch. I feel like you have maybe a catch on Precipice Blades. Yeah, because this Fire Punch is going to KO the Excadrill, so unfortunately Excadrill is going to go ahead and go down. You probably had to leave this matchup. But maybe you could bring in... Okay, so they do go to a get off a Fire Punch. Zarude's going to be able to take it. I don't know, you just have to hope Zarude beats whatever's in the back, but unfortunately they actually make another Fire Punch, which is not ideal for the poor Zarude, but you still live it. Oh, it's Togekiss. This is not going to be a win here. Unfortunately, yeah, Togekiss does a good job of walling Zarude. Good game. Moving on, okay, Meloetta into Groudon. Okay. Looks like the opponent's lagging a little bit. Maybe they did in the beginning. You hate to see it, but you push on, right? Meloetta is going to go ahead and go for the Psyshock. Doing good amount of damage. Can't really switch out here, right? So you have to stay in. And anyway, this matchup's fine anyway, especially since you did correctly shield up that Precipice Blades. And I think I mentioned it, but Meloetta is really tanky, right? So it could just... Well, it could take the Precipice Blades. It's also worth shielding it as well. But Meloetta is going to go ahead and take this attack. It's going to be... well, was that a Fire Punch or a Precipice? I feel like that must have been a Fire Punch. That did too little damage. I know Meloetta is tanky, but I feel like the Precipice Blades would have done more. But Mewtwo coming in. Okay. Gonna go ahead and go for the Psyshock. Okay, so Psyshock is resisted. I probably would have went up for the Dazzling Gleam to try and get it off. But let's see, because Psyshock, or Psystrike, excuse me, is not going to KO because it is resisted. But that's fine. Mewtwo, you did do good damage to Mewtwo. You could bring in Zarude. If Mewtwo has Psystrike and Shadow Ball, it is resisted. All of it, right? We don't know. They could have Ice Beam. They actually switched into Yveltal. So going to go ahead and farm up a lot of energy before switching out. Yeah, definitely going to go ahead and charge up a lot. The only issue here is this could be a Focus Blast, and if it is, it's going to KO. It's probably not. Oh, it is. Good call there. I actually thought it was going to be the Foul Play, or Dark Pulse. Is it Foul Play, or is it Dark Pulse? I've never used Yveltal. Well, I guess I have used Yveltal, but either way, not in the Open Master League. I've used it in the Master Classic. But anyway, we do see a Rock Slide coming out. Very nice. You're not going to make it to another one, but that is okay because now it should be in range to where one Dark Pulse is enough to KO. You're one away from another one, so we do see this Dark Pulse coming out, and it actually doesn't KO, but you can Vine Whip down. And again, if they're not running Ice Beam, Focus Blast, you don't have to worry about it, and because they switched out the way they did, they probably are not. But even if they were, you KO it anyway. Good game. Moving on, we do see a Mewtwo lead. Okay, well, Shadow Ball's resisted, Psy Strike's resisted, if that is the move set. We actually do see this Psy Shock coming in. Again, I would go for the Dazzling Gleam, but the quick attacks are really adding up. It's already at 50% health. Okay, well, it's resisted, so that's good. So that tells me they have Shadow Ball, Psy Strike, most likely, right? Another attack coming in, again, resisted, so you can take 2 of them, and Mewtwo has a really high attack, so even though you resisted, able to take that well. Do you shield the next attack and farm down? That's probably what you do. You're going to go ahead and shield this with the Meloetta, and farm down with quick attack, right? And that's exactly what you do, so good play. Okay, Xerneas is coming in. Okay, so yeah, Zarude does not want to see fairy types, as we know, right? So, this is totally fine. Picking up a shield, which is fine as well. Excadrill doesn't want to see the close combat, though, so you do have to keep that in mind. But maybe you can get the damage through here, you do, so that's good. They're not going to be able to Geomancy down, so they do have to throw an attack. If they throw close combat, they do debuff their stats. Okay, so they did not debuff their stats, so that tells me that's a Moonblast. Oh, never mind, it's close combat. It's hard to tell because I can't, I don't understand this language, but that is okay. Another close combat, gonna shield that. That is a good shield. Now Excadrill will go ahead and safely go for this attack, and that will pick up the shield. Very nice. The only thing is this close combat is going to be enough to KO. Actually, never mind. It's not enough to KO. That's good. Groudon coming in. But this is really good because you, as we saw earlier, you could take a couple Fire Punch attacks, right? So Zarude is going to just overfarm and throw before they do get to another Fire Punch. I like that. So this is gonna it's gonna actually not KO. Wow. Okay, I thought that was actually gonna KO, but it did not KO. Either way, it doesn't matter because you could safely go for this attack and this will KO the Xerneas. So Zarude, yeah, I mean, as I've mentioned, does not like fairy types, but more importantly, Charm uses. For example, this Togekiss. Because you're just taking so much damage from Charm, right? But Meloetta could take Charm a lot better, so I'm going to be able to go for this Psy Shock right now. And, okay, one more, maybe, after the quick attacks. It's going to be tight. It might be enough to finish it off. I'm going to actually give up a shield here. This is probably Ancient Power. It is Ancient Power, but that's fine. Because now, if they shield this, you will make it to another one. So I think that shield was fine there. Because they do actually shield it, so you will successfully get to another one, which is good. The only thing is, if they shield this, they will be able to charm me down, but it is what it is. They actually let it go, so you do control switch there, which is nice. Out comes Groudon, which is really good because you do not want Excadrill on that, so you could probably let this go and bring in the Zarude. Zarude, as we know, we've seen it multiple times in this video, does not appreciate Fire Punch, but it could still take 2 Fire Punches, so it doesn't really matter, as we see, able to take that one and go for this power, which will probably KO, unless they commit the shield. It does KO, and out comes Dialga, and this is looking to be a good game. Well played to both trainers, because you do have an Excadrill in the back, and they really need a Draco Meteor to KO. That does a lot of damage. They do throw an Iron Head, you just let this go. And you could bring an X2, and the thing is, even if they bait with an Iron Head, they're not going to get to an Iron Head and then a Draco Meteor, so you're good no matter what, right? So we do see this Drill Run coming in. This is going to pick up that shield, and again, you shield the next one just in case it's a Draco. It's probably not, but again, they're not going to get to an Iron Head and a Draco anyway. Yeah, that was an Iron Head. Obviously worth the shield 100% because you do make it to the Drill Run. And this is going to be enough to KO that Dialga, and that's going to be a great game. Very well played to both trainers. Let's move on. I really want to build a Meloetta myself, but again, I would wait for it to return so I could, first of all, grind those XL candies. But aside from that, I want a better one, because I don't know the exact stats of my Meloetta. I know this Zarude is 12 across the board, as I mentioned. Meloetta, I know my Meloetta is just not good. It's not as good as this one. It's probably like a 12, 13, something. I don't know. It's really bad. But that Dazzling Gleam does a lot. Yeah, I mean, again, like, your opponents probably might not be familiar with Meloetta's attacks, so they might not be expecting the Dazzling Gleam, right? So that's why maybe the opponent didn't shield. Actually going to go ahead and switch out. And then the Medicos is actually staying in. The Medicos is actually staying in, which is pretty solid here. Do you shield this one? This is probably a Media Mash. Nah, you don't shield it, right? No, actually, you do shield it. Okay, it is a Media Mash. Still would have done a lot. You are down both shields, but you do have a lot of energy. Okay, so Zarude obviously getting KO'd by an Avalanche. But they're going to have to commit shields here, so... a little bit of lag, come on, get it off. A lot of lag, actually. This is really unfortunate. What's going on here? Okay, well, it looks like the attack is coming through, which is good, and the opponent gets off the attack. Yeah, a lot of lag issues there, which is unfortunate. But this Meloetta is going to be able to get to his Psyshock. Man, an Avalanche is going to KO the Zarude, so you do have to watch out. They can't farm you down, which is good, so they do have to throw. I think you could Vine Whip down. Yeah, I'm pretty sure an Avalanche would just one-shot the Zarude. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know how much energy they have, but you're able to Vine Whip down anyway. And that's going to be a great submission. Thank you so much for sharing your battle experiences with us. I really do appreciate that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.